Welcome to the Dev half hour. I had some technical difficulties and didn't really record the mic, so I'm just going to start over one more time. Let me quickly go through what is up for today and what I already did, and then just continue from that point on. So I really hope that the sound is okay now, that I am loud enough, not too loud, and that the music in the background is okay as well. So the idea for today's Dev half hour is to create art assets for the Fallen Hero feature. So it's really a tiny thing, but when you explore the worlds of Leaf's Adventure, you should stumble over fallen heroes once in a while. And those fallen heroes are heroes that have been in the world before and they failed at certain areas in the game. And therefore only skeletons or gravestones are the only reminder for them. So, and on the gravestone there will be like an engraving that kind of says, well, here lies XY, and maybe he hadn't had enough health potion to survive the challenge, or a fire sword would have helped him, or if he would have had a fire sword he would still live, or no one will sing a song about this fallen hero just because, whatever. So something that maybe gives a hint about the environment, for example, like I have buried a treasure nearby, or there's a secret monster nearby, or something is glowing above this place, or whatever that kind of helps the player kind of find things in the game. And I have also this campaign on Lure Kit. So if a streamer streams the demo for a certain period of time and manages to beat both ancient monsters, he will get like a fallen hero in the game. So he can, within what name here lies name of the streamer, and then a short mentioning of something, for example, I don't know, whatever we can come up together that kind of fits into the world and is helpful or meaningful to the player will get into the game. So it's a possibility for streamers to be part of the game or be in the game, and on the other hand support me as a game developer, kind of sharing the game with their community and talking about the game. And so it's kind of a win-win situation, or I hope at least that's the case. So without much more mumbling from my part, let's see what I have already done in the first half hour without any microphone recordings. So here's my sketch of a hero with his ghost. Oh wow, he's missing his lamp. What I have already done in the first half hour. Alright. And I've already created a standard gravestone. I'm not extremely fond of this one, just because it's so, standard. And then I have like a more natural version of that, which I prefer. And I have some monolith version, which is okay, but I don't know. Then I have the outcast version. So this is well, someone died here and there was just nothing nearby, no gravestone merchant or something, so the guy that buried the fallen hero just collected a few stones and then just added this sign. And so that's a possibility as well. And the third one is having like a skeleton sitting in a corner, having his diary next to him, and in the diary it then will say something like, well, this monster XY was just too hard for me to beat, and my last thoughts goes out to, or whatever. So yeah, this is a task for another day, but there would be information about the environment and who that guy is in this journal. So since there are only like 20 minutes left, let's kind of start coloring one of these ideas. I think I'm gonna pick this one first because it's quite simple, and I think it's will not take too long to get it done. Let me quickly open another environment piece to make sure that I pick the right colors. So this one I'm gonna create, just gonna put it here, just gonna create the colors in the same style as the other magic elements, like the upgrade statues for the hammer or the upgrade statue for your for the health. So let's see, I'm just gonna switch this to multiply so I can work in a layer below it and still see the sketch on top of it. Let's see, I'm just gonna switch this to multiply. So creating the selection, just filling it in, and then start with the first face. Just kind of like this. Put another layer on top of it, mask it, and in color. Just, I think that's a bit too light. So something like that. I'm going to reduce the visibility of the sketch a bit. Okay, let's pick the next face. And this needs to be brighter because lighting, in most cases, coming from above. And this one maybe even a bit. Even lighter. So let's see. Where's the sketch? Here. Okay. Then we're gonna pick another face. So this one. And we will give this a bit of a sheen again. Whoop. Wrong keyboard input. And I'm gonna select this one. Okay. What about this one here? Giving maybe a bit of a other hue. Oh yeah, I think that's something that I like. I'm just gonna put another hue from this area, so make sure that it's on a lower layer, just giving it a slight bluish hue. Okay, I might need to pick it up here as well. It starts looking a bit weird. Yeah, much better. Alright, I'm gonna add a bit of lighter value down here. Okay. Now something weird is going on over here. I'm just gonna get rid of those dark spots here. Just gonna remove them entirely. And now this is just, the surface is just too clean, so I'm just gonna add a few more like faces on top of it. So just to kind of break it up a tiny bit. Okay, and then maybe I'm gonna pick up that bluish hue one more time for this one. And what I always do in the game, I always kind of add this, or these markings. So it's kind of an artistic staple. Normally take like 3 different forms, just put them well somewhere. Now let's see, I feel that this area still looks a bit weird, so let's see if we can kind of balance this a bit. Yep, much better. And here, I feel that this one is a bit too strong, so I'm trying to get, nope, that's not the right way. All right, better. So, check the sketch quickly. What I always find helpful is, now we have a very hard edge on the ground, and this sometimes leads to a disconnect with the environment. So I really want to make sure to kind of connect this object with the environment, and the environments will look different because it will be used in different levels. So what really works for me is adding like small objects that kind of overlap these connection areas. So this edge, just create a few stones. Simply like that. Maybe just not to give the idea a bit too much away, a few more that are just close by and not exactly on the edge, or it would look weird. And here's another thing that happens sometimes when doing designs. Without that I wanted to do it, I created a pattern. So this is like bam, 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 bam. So the distances are a bit too even. I mean, it's not really even, but it's just too even, so it looks artificial. So I'm just gonna add another one very close to this one to break that up. And maybe then again here. Okay. So now we definitely want to add a bit of shading to them as well. So now add a bit of shading to them as well. This one's very flat. Then I'm gonna try to pick up the bluish hue here one more time. Let's see. Oh, that's okay. And to kind of contrast this stone in the background, just gonna make sure that the top is light enough, or you would not be able to really separate the two stones. And I mean, that is the idea, that they're not connected. Alright, let's zoom out a bit and see if this works. But I think it does. We definitely need the inner carvings of the gravestone, and we kind of like the hand, maybe, but definitely I like the leaves. So just gonna add a bit of grass. Just gonna use a layer behind the stone. So a few leaves of grass. So what color I'm gonna pick for this? Since it should be usable in all worlds, and the worlds are quite different. So for example, this is has a very yellow hue. I'm not going too crazy with the grass pieces. Maybe that's already a bit too saturated. So let's see. Or I'm just gonna create different versions for the different levels. That will be possible as well. Just gonna make it a bit darker. I think that would help. And just gonna add another leaf just behind. Okay, and alright, that should be complete, and I'm just gonna give this a slightly lighter value. Not sure about that. I think I'm not doing that. Just adding a bit on top. Alright, now the question is, should I add one in front of the gravestone? Just gonna give it a try. So, maybe here. having a darker value on the ground kind of helps it connect to whatever color there is on the ground. And we maybe just make a very quick test. I'm just gonna put that into a group. I'm just gonna put it into this level area. So it's a bit big. So let's just shrink it down. So it'll be like this. And pull this up a bit. Come on. So you can see that this would work. It doesn't really look alien. It's okay. So let's get rid of it again and go back to the working file here. But one thing that I forgot to add, I really like this light edge here on the stone, because it emphasized the edge, and I wanted to kind of create this a bit in a stronger fashion. So a bit like that. I'm just gonna add, we need a very light value now. Just gonna add it. Okay, it might be a bit too much, but I think it works. I still am not really happy with this one here, so I'm thinking of just deleting or softening it down a bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Maybe since I've already created this edge here, I'm just gonna use it to kind of cover up this here. All right, so let's see if we create the hand as well. We will need markings, but I'm just gonna do that later. So we're just gonna see. So the idea is creating a hand. So we have a bone coming up out of the ground like this, and I need like a bony color. And another one, because the lower arm contains 2 bones. Don't ask me for the English names of these bones. They would be Ellenspeiche in German, but I have no idea about the English or the Latin word. And we would have like a lot of bones, but I'm not gonna create all of them, but just like one cluster of bones for the middle hand. And then just to keep it simple, I'm gonna create one bone for, I mean, this doesn't make sense because things like the hand would fall apart. Once you die, there's not much left. It kind of connects the bones. But well, Leaf's Adventure is not a hyper-realistic game, so we might can't come away with stuff like that without kind of destroying the believability within the world. So I mean, there's a realism and there is an in-game realism, and this is okay with the in-game realism, I'd say. So let's remove. It kind of looks weird, but it's maybe just due to that there's just no shading at all. Maybe we have to make sure that we kind of overlap a bit. I'm just gonna start doing the shading. So we are some sort of at the end of the dev hour, but since there were a lot of technical issues, I think I'm gonna at least end this piece of art, or this art asset, and cool would be to kind of at least put it somewhere into the game. So let's see how far I can come with it. I mean, there's not really much that is left here to do, so I'm quite positive that this shouldn't take too long. So I'm just gonna, well, let me quickly add another art piece, because I really want to be within the color space that I have already used somewhere. So I'm just gonna open up this guy. So let's quickly wait that this is loaded. All right, so I have this guy here. What I actually need is this mask. So I'm just gonna put it. Wow, that's big. Maybe a bit too big. So, question is, will I go? Oh no, I will not go with the grayish parts, but I'm just gonna pick the bony parts of the horns because it contrasts better with the stone. So let's select these two and just fill in this color. Come on, you can do it. And now go over it with the lighter color and give that stuff a bit of lighting, since the light is kind of hitting the object like this. Just gonna try to keep that consistent here as well. So I'm gonna create the light edge on the right side. So more or less like this. Let's see if we maybe kind of simply fade it out a bit on the lower end. And the same for this middle bone cluster. Try to get rid of that again. And I'm just gonna kind of create some, well, just call it the wrinkles, but I'm pretty sure this is not the right word for it, but I think it's gonna help selling the idea of a hand here. I'm just gonna take this part and create it a bit lighter, and then the lower part again. And right again, kind of cut out a bit here and here as well. And again here and here again. Whoop, wrong shortcut. And maybe we could even do it here and here. Just gonna add a bit of more of this light value on top of the first finger, and let's not forget the thumb. So one question now is, will I accept that the fingers are floating, or they're just gonna add something in between? I'll just try it out. Let's assume there's some fleshy thing left between the bones. Let's see how this looks. Wow, selection come back. So I'm gonna oh, that kind of looks not sure about that. It looks a bit too evil, or too, well, violent. But what about the idea to simply, just gonna duplicate this and duplicate this, and simply connect the parts a bit more. So nope. Maybe we're just gonna accept it, or okay, if I'm just gonna remove a bit of the reddish stuff, then it kind of starts to not look as bad. So let's maybe there are some like bands going over. Pretty sure no anatomical band, or I'm not sure how it's the English terminology, but I think it wouldn't look like that. But at this point, I don't care. It's within the game realism, so it kind of looks. Oh, wait a second. Why not using cloth for that. So let's assume that guy had like something around his wrist, some sort of band or tape. So then this would look a bit like this. Just add a bit of shading on this part. Let's use these forms again. These forms. Here, one more time. Okay. And we have this weird connection here again, so we might just gonna take one of the stones, just gonna duplicate this, pull it over on top of it, and gonna use parts of it to kind of connect it. Just came to my mind that this needs to be a bit more high, because the walking area for the player is somewhere here in the middle, and if I would keep it separate, then it could also be in the foreground. So this is maybe something that I can test later. But I just say we take what we have here and put it into the game and just do a quick proof of concept. I will not integrate the functionality with the... Or actually I could. Well, let's first put this into the game. So I'm gonna get rid of the helmet, get rid of this light arrow, and create a smart object out of this. Alright. Now let's check the size. So I'm just gonna grab this here. Okay, so expand it a bit on top. Now move this over. Ooh, way too huge. But that's why I'm doing this. I'm just gonna reduce the size. Yeah, like this. And now I can export it. So save this, and I'm gonna save it to the magic elements because we're gonna use it in a lot of levels. So that would be grave, stone, 0. Okay, let's open up the texture packer. I'm using this to kind of, well, create an atlas for the art assets. And let's open up magic elements number 2. So you can see a lot of the magic elements, and I'm gonna drop this gravestone over here, and it should be somewhere here. So where is it? Can't find it. Oh, here it is. All right. Now save this, publish sprite sheet, and exporting it. That's done. So and here Unity imports the new art asset, and we will be able to put it into a level. But I'm not gonna take this one. I'm just gonna take Broken Cave, for example. I'm gonna save this because I don't want to lose the progress that I did earlier today. Okay, now let's see, where could I put, I mean, just to test it, it would make sense to kind of put it close to the starting area. So I'm just gonna put it here. So this would be like decor. So I'm just gonna create an empty game object and call this gravestone 00. We need like a sprite renderer for that. I'm just gonna copy this component because shader and stuff is already set. I'm just gonna put it into this one, and I'm gonna look for the gravestone. Here it is, and here we go. So I'm just gonna put it here close to the light, and yeah, I'm just gonna add the functionality nonetheless. So I think I just can copy. Just gonna take this one here. Let's see, where is it? It's over there. Move it close to the gravestone, and okay, what do we need from? We just need this, and okay, we need the conversation trigger. Okay, I'm just gonna unpack this prefab completely, and I'm just gonna rename it gravestone 00. I'm gonna rename this gravestone sprite. Put this here as a child of this one. Gonna get rid of the sign, and we have everything ready to go. We have an event responder, we have a collider, we have a conversation trigger. Now we define this as a hint. We're just gonna keep it that way because we're just gonna test it now. And this is something that I'm just gonna change later. So, but having this stone here next to the plant kind of looks nice, and maybe I'm just gonna keep it this way just because we have a light source over here. And I'm just moving this a bit. Yeah, so the hand is in front of the plant, and now let's give this a try and see how it looks. Oh, I have to pull over the game view. So this, okay, come on dude, go away. Okay, and here it is, the gravestone, and I could even read what it says. Huh. I thought I can, but actually can't. So let's see what is going on. Is there maybe... Let's just select a different conversation for now. Maybe this here? Yeah, now it works. Okay, let's move it over. It was just an empty conversation, I guess. So that's maybe a bit too long for a gravestone, but to kind of show how it works, and this is kind of it. So you get close, you can read what it says. And then you go along your way. And yeah, that's actually it. I'm gonna create more of them, so I think I'm gonna create a skeleton on the wall and maybe a third one, and creating a prefab out of that. And then yeah, we will be ready to place this in the world of Leaf's Adventure. So if you have tuned in for the live stream, thank you for that. And if you see this as a video, thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to play the demo on Steam. It's available for free. And leave a wish list, that helps a lot. And if you would like to join Discord, follow on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, whatever you prefer. And yeah, give me feedback. So comment this on YouTube and let me know what you would like to have. Is it too long? Is it too short? Yeah, whatever comes to your mind, just let me know. And that's it for now. I say bye bye. Have a nice rest of the day. See ya.